really.
Cool.
Do you know what you're on about? What are you going to ask me?
Ask you about this thing here in front of us. Right.
Yep.
There we go. Right, boys and girls, I'm now joined by Mr. Ed Watson from Case IH, who's going to talk us around this rather striking looking Optum tractor. We kind of saw it a little bit at Lammer, but now we're going to get a little bit of detail from Ed. So Ed, I mean, what's it all about this? I mean, with these colours.
So this year we've been sponsoring the MotoGP team with the Aprilia. Alice Espargo being the main rider there. Currently winning the Constructor Championship and I think he's second in the Drivers' Championship.
Right, so you're backing the right horse then?
There we are, well, it seems to be at the moment
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, we've put together this limited edition Optum. Currently it's the only one in existence, had it wrapped for Lammer, drawing a bit of attention.
Right.
I think we all agree it looks spectacular.
So just talk us through kind of what you've done to the tractor, because it is looking, you know, it's quite
So we've
quite striking.
We've used the Aprilia team colours, had it wrapped to match the bikes. Carbon fibre effect there, black with the red and blue stripes down the side, and the all-important Italian flag on the side there, the Italian
Oh, just
colours.
up here, yeah.
Black rims as well, everyone likes a bit of black rims with the red outline. So this unit has been sold to Onesto Power, so will be available to buy from them in the near future.
All right, so you can actually get your hands on this. But like I say, is it a one-off at the moment?
It's a one-off at the moment, yeah. Kean, our demonstrator, organised this, got it all set up, and as you can see, he's made a good job of it.
Yeah. Do you think you'll do any more of these?
Well, I think around Europe there'll be a few more floating around, so yeah, there'll definitely be a few more in existence.
That's it. And he's got, I mean, look at them eyebrows there, I tell you.
She's looking mean.
Yeah. Perfect. Nice one, Ed.
Thank you very much.
Right, ladies and gents, so we're now on to the coon stand, as you can see, here at ScotGrass 2022, and I'm now joined by Mr. Nigel Donkin, who's going to talk us through. Well, Nigel, what are you going to talk us through?
So,
what are you showing off today?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. It's a good opportunity today with ScotGrass. We haven't been here for 3 years. So
it feels like a long time since we've been here,
great
doesn't
to get outdoors and show the equipment. So here at ScotGrass, one of our feature machines, when we start a little bit later in the day, is going to be the FBP 3135 bale pack machine.
Right.
And we're here today emphasising our ability to do film binding using standard 750 film.
I was going to say, because up there you've got two standard rolls.
Absolutely.
Not a specialist roll.
Correct.
Right.
And this has been developed over 4 years. We have done R&D and test work in the UK, and we're now getting very good feedback from the customers as to the quality of the wrapping and also the simplification of the system. So the system actually mimics what we've used on some of our trail wrappers in the past. So two film holders that are starting in the upright position, and you can see that we've got the film being put through the feed rollers, so we've got a very positive guidance of the film into the baler. This is a fixed chamber baler using rollers, which we didn't mention. And then when the machine gets working, these film rollers will quickly turn around and then lay flat, and the film will be fed full width across the machine.
Right.
And the beauty of the system is that because we've got the smaller film, we're using standard costs that the customer's used to, and because of the narrower film, the start is quicker. So if we had a full width film, we need more of a revolution of the film to get the film
of course,
fully
because you've got a big tapered point,
because
haven't
we've
you?
got a big taper point. We've got two smaller ones, so that means
Two little points.
Two little points, and the bale gets wrapped quicker because of that. But an interesting feature is we can see at the bottom here, we've still got our position for net.
Right.
So if the customer decides that he wants to change from one field to another one, between net and film, it's literally a 10-minute job to disconnect. The film doesn't have to come off here. We just put a spool of net in here, go to our operator's screen, and change the setting from net to film and on off they go again. And
That's
that was
it.
something that we wanted. So it's not available as a retrofit kit because it has to be precision mounted.
Yeah.
But we are using a standard machine, if that makes sense. So
Right.
from a parts point of view, not interfering with the standard net operation, it works really, really well.
But you're not, at the end of the day, you're not having to specify either a film-on-film machine or a net machine. At least you can do both
With the one machine.
With the one machine, and you got the other Brucey bonus of standard film rolls as well.
Correct. Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And so on the machine, if we were going, and this is all we were doing, we can then use our film holding capacity to keep the machine working for longer, because under these covers we've got our film for where we've got 4 rolls at each side, so we've got plenty of capacity. Equally at the back here, we then have the option, this machine doesn't have it, but we can also introduce 3D technology, which is where we swing the film over and give extra layers on the outside. So for people who want really, really well sealed bales, or they're handling the bales a lot, sometimes people selling haulage like this a lot, because it might be going from field to stack and then stack onto a wagon, then wagon onto somebody's yard.
Yeah.
So the bale's been moved around a lot of times. Having good sealing of the bale wins very well. And another feature of our machine that works well with this is that when we do drop the bale off, this table is very close to the ground.
Yeah.
So we're not getting damage from the bale impacting
It's
against
just
the ground.
gently lower it down.
It is, yeah.
Pop it down, there you go.
And we can work that either manually or automatically.
Yeah.
So if the customer just wants to drive and the bales pop out when they want to do, that's absolutely fine.
So that 3D wrapping system, obviously it's not on this particular baler,
No.
but that does, am I right in thinking that does the barrel first?
It does, yes.
And then it sort of flips
Cross-wraps.
through 90, then does
Yeah.
the conventional way.
And we also have the technology IntelliWrap, which is a branded trademark of ours, is where we're measuring the rotations of the table, so the rotation of the film holder,
Yeah.
and rather than be stuck to 4, 6 or 8, we can do unequal layers.
Yeah.
We can do 5, 7 or 9. So where the customer's trying to get a balance between quality of sealing and cost, rather than having to have the 2-layered jump,
Yeah.
you can go in between. So we've got quite a lot of customers who will find that 5 layers done with the IntelliWrap gives the performance of 6 layers of a standard wrapper. So again, on a cost saving, win-win.
Clever stuff from you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, please the gods allow everything to work. We'll be at it at 12 o'clock plus. So welcome you back to see the machine in
There you
action.
go. Spot on, Nigel. That's great, that.
Good to see you. Thank
Like
you.
that. Right, ladies and gents, onto the fence plot now, and I'm now joined by Mr. Sam Treadgold, who's going to talk to us about mowers. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what is this particular one we're looking at here?
So this is a Slicer 310 FQKC. So this is a mower conditioner, 3.1 meters.
Like say 3.1 meters. Do you do other sizes at all, or other
Yeah.
models?
So this is 3.1, and then we can go up to a 360, which is 3.6 meters. Obviously a lot wider than this one. So yeah, we can do two widths in this range.
Got you. And you say obviously it's a conditioning machine. I mean, just talk us through your sort of conditioner style, because it does, you know, it's not like steel time conditioner or a nylon conditioner. It's more like
Yeah. So it's not like a flail time conditioner. Some people say it looks like a lot like a big pickup.
yeah,
So we look at trying not to beat the grass too much, but strip the loom off the stem of the grass instead.
right.
Because we think that helps obviously a lot more with wilting. We don't have a baffle plate in the top of the conditioner. We've got like a comb, so it's as it's taking the grass through, it's able to strip that loom off the stem of the grass. And the beauty with this conditioner as well is once you take back the conditioner right off, back that comb out the way, it's fully tucked up in the hood. So effectively you're just waffling grass over. So if guys are doing hay and they don't want to be battering it too much, or say lucerne, it's not going to batter it as much.
Okay.
Because it's completely out of the way of the conditioner.
So you could say it's a little bit more of a flexible sort of system. Almost.
Yes, definitely. It's not touching the grass. The conditioner comb isn't touching the grass at all when it's waffling through, because it's tucked up right in the hood.
That's it. So, I mean, talk us through the bed. This bed?
So this is what we call the global bed. So it's a spur gear drive bed system. Previous models have been the compact angular gear bed, which had the hexagonal shaft through the back of it and then go into bevel gears on each disc. But this is fully oil submerged. So much like you'd see on other competitors, is why we say it's a global bed. It's just the spur gear drive system. So we've got a shear pin protection overload in there, whereas on the older models which we had, it used to be a drive guard system which had that drive guard disc.
Oh, that's that disc on the top of each, well, underneath each hub or something.
That's it, yeah. But this is much the same principle of replacing a shear pin. If one was to go, you just take the top hat off, knock the pin out, put a new one in, hat back on. Easier said than done, but it's the principle is just as easy.
And then how many discs is this one for a 3.1?
This is six.
Right.
Six.
So you've got quite relatively big discs on your mowers.
Yeah, so this is 6, and obviously if we go to the 360, it's a 7-disc mower.
Right. And then if we move up top, I mean, talk us through your sort of headstock suspension.
So yeah, this is
system.
We moved away from the FZ, which was the big frame with springs. So this is now the FQ. This is what we call a 3D ground adaption mower. So it can obviously lift it up and down on the hydraulics, but it can oscillate to to the left or the right by 13 degrees each way. And it can also, has a fore and after pitch tilt, so it can adapt the ground very nicely. For hilly ground, it's not a problem for us.
That's it. I mean, you've
undulation.
If we pull back here, you've certainly demonstrated
shown
that
it
on
off
that
with this stand. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's got some fair old lean on it there.
Yeah.
So in terms of the drive of the mower, I mean, obviously you got gearbox there, and then down to so this is feeding the bed this side, is it?
Down to the gearbox, feed the bed, and to the other side it feeds the conditioner.
Right. So you split the drive, send it one side.
Yeah. So a bit like a split drive system, so it's not taking all the power right through one side of the mower, it's splitting it down to both sides.
And then in terms of kind of like the rest of your mower family, what else have you got in there these days?
So we've got the 310F, which is another front mower, but that's purely just what we'd probably say is a push mower.
Yeah.
So you just have that on the front linkage. That's a new model which we've got out this year. And then the rear mowers, we've got the TLX mowers still, or the TLX KCs, depending if you want a plain mower or a conditioner, which have the turbo lift system. And then we can obviously go up to the triple mowers as well. We've got some new triple mowers coming out this year, the 840s or the 920s. Right. And then we've also got obviously the smaller mowers for the guys that are doing a bit of hay that don't need a conditioner or the size of mower, which are belt driven. So we've got the 270 or the 320p mowers as well.
So something for everyone, really.
Yeah.
There you go. Well.
Yeah, full complement.
Perfect. Sam, thank you very much for that. It's been spot
problem.
On.
That's all right.
Right, ladies and gents, we're now on the Massey Ferguson plot with Mr. Derek Neal, and we've got to get a wriggle on because he's got to get to a Rangers game tonight and we can't hang about. So Derek is going to talk us through, well, round Bayless. I mean, we'll start with this one. Yeah, I mean, which one's this that we are looking at?
As always, Massey Ferguson are always very keen to be here at ScotGrass, and this is the Massey Ferguson 4160V variable chamber baler. This baler is fitted at the front. If we start at the front, we'll do a walk round on the baler. Yeah. So we've got the camless pickup reel at the front. So you've got 5 rows of tines mounted onto angle iron bars. So you have 5 rows of tines, camless, so you've got a greasable bearing at either end. So you're very quiet running, very low maintenance, and you get a lovely feed of the crop straight into the Hydroflex Floor.
Yeah.
So the crop, it shows the short crop across the gap. You don't get the crop build up at the back of the pickup. You get with other cam track style pickups. If we then move back, you come into the Hydroflex Floor, which is, I'll just point to here, this spring design here. So what the Hydroflex Floor does, it allows the floor to cushion, so when a lump comes into the rotor, it just allows the lump to sail into the baler. So you don't need to stop it. The baler doesn't block, it allows the space.
So that's a continuous bit of movement.
The space is there to widen so that the crop flows straight into the baler. You don't get the bang. So you don't get the blockages you would get with other balers as well.
That's it. And how much will the floor
It'll
move?
It flexes the full depth of that spring, so maybe about 2 inches, a good 2.5 inches.
Oh, you've got a fair bit of movement in there.
So enough, if a lump goes into the dead end, it'll keep it going.
And then if it does bottom out, and you do get a bit
If
of
you
a
do block
blockage,
it, you can
drop it then,
You
can
can
you?
then let the floor down from the cab,
Right.
put the nice out, and then bring the crop. And the crop actually goes into the baler, it doesn't go into the floor. Even when
Right.
the floor's full down, it goes
Yeah.
straight up into the baler. So you get an excellent feed.
There you go. And then yeah, knife options on this. What you
Knife
what
options
got?
you can start. You can obviously get 0 knives, so you can have 13, 17, or 25. With the 17 and 25 option, you can get a split bank, so you can go 9 and 8,
Right.
or you can go 13 and 12, so you can have split banks of knives options as
Yeah.
well.
And can you switch between those two banks on the move? And
Yes, you can switch between
Yeah.
them as well. So everything can be done for the tractor cab. There's no
Yeah.
adjustments need to be done on the baler.
Right.
Also, if you go into the baler itself, the back door is always mechanically locked shut.
So it's proper shot.
So the tail hooks is shut. As you push your spool valve in to float, the door's locked shut. So every bale is even, consistent, is exactly the same size.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get even, consistent bales every time.
So that's whether it's a variable chamber or a
Variable
fixed
chamber or a fixed chamber.
Yeah.
The features we've discussed are the same in the fixed chamber and
Right.
the variable right through. Main difference, obviously, the variable chamber will run to the belts.
Yeah.
So you've got four endless belts in this baler. These belts, at their maximum density, if you're baling wet silage at density of 10, these belts are only at 20% of their breaking strength. So there's 80% spare.
Right.
These belts are way over-engineered for the job, so you do not get belt issues again with these balers.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
You don't get belt issues with the balers.
Right.
Yep, I'm confident. I'm not saying you can't cut them with a stone,
Yeah.
but the belts themselves,
But in general, wearing. Yeah.
you don't get belt issues.
There you go.
Now we move on to the back here. You've got the wrapping system. It's the Protex. So we've got the variable chamber with a wrapper on it. This wrapper's got the new style wrapping ring design. So if we bring your camera up in, you'll see the wrapping ring is now driven positively by 2 rubber rollers. See the yellow rubber rollers up in
Oh,
there? So
yeah,
it
yeah.
clamps the ring.
Yeah.
Wrapping ringing both sides, so you can't get slippage. Even in wet conditions, you don't get slippage. The wrapping ring always stops in the home position and allows the bale to be transferred to the wrapper.
Right.
Another thing is, when the bale comes out of the wrapper, on steep conditions, if you're working hilly conditions, you can see in there the bale falls into that cup. So the bale's cup to either end, it falls in there, so the bale cannot miss the wrapper, even in
Yeah.
hilly conditions.
That's it. Even
Because
if
it
you're.
places it onto the wrapper nice and gently. But no, that's the baler wrapper. And I say, if you want to come along and see one working, there's one working here today. So.
That's it. Hopefully, yeah. When it dries.
Hopefully.
Yeah, when it
Hopefully.
dries up a bit more. Well, as long as it as long as you can do that before it rains again tonight, it'll be
Oh,
alright.
as long as Rangers win,
Yeah.
ScotGrass will take care of itself.
That's a big thing. Spot on. Well, Derek, thank you very much for that.
No bother
Great.
at all. Thank
Perfect.
you, and if there's anything else we can help you with, so don't hesitate to contact any of the Massey team.
There you go.
Thank you.
Spot on.
Cheers.